Welcome to Explain Simply channel, where complex topics become crystal clear and easy to understand.
From revolution to Iron Curtain. The year is 1917. Fighting rages on the Eastern Front of World War I. A German officer has a brilliant idea. "Soldier, bring me this man." Hours later, the soldier returns, dragging a confused British musician. "Found him, sir." "What? No, not Lenin. Lenin, the Russian communist, exiled to Switzerland. You know what? I'll do it myself." The Germans put Lenin on a sealed train and sent him back to Russia, hoping he'd create chaos. And he did. The Bolsheviks overthrew the government. Lenin pulled Russia out of the war, made the country communist, started a brutal civil war, got shot but survived, broke the economy, caused a famine, and then died in 1924. On his deathbed, "Tell whoever's in charge of jobs not to let that jerk Stalin become leader." By the way, who did I put in charge of jobs? "That would be Stalin, sir." Stalin rose to power, and his opponents conveniently all disappeared. He implemented 5-year plans transforming Russia from agricultural to industrial, but like Lenin, he ruled through terror. Anyone who opposed him was executed or sent to the brutal Siberian gulags, where millions died. The Great Terror saw mass executions and purges. Even his own military and secret police weren't safe. Then, in 1941, a short man with a silly mustache invaded. Hitler's army punched deep into Russia, reaching Moscow. But the Russians, with help from General Winter and the Allies, pushed back all the way to Berlin by 1945. The Allies held victory conferences. An American tried being friendly. "Stalin, you must be happy standing here in Berlin." Stalin stared coldly. "Tsar Alexander made it all the way to Paris." Awkward silence. "I think something's up with Stalin. Should I tell him about the bomb?" "Yeah, that'll scare him." "So we've got this crazy atomic bomb that can destroy entire cities." Stalin barely reacted. "My spies told me already." "Oh wait, wow, that's amazing." He already knew. How? Meanwhile, in New Mexico, a scientist typed, "Am I sure I want to send nuclear secrets via public coffee shop Wi-Fi? Am I ever?" America dropped the bomb on Japan. World War II ended, and the Allies discussed the new order. "Stalin, you're in charge of Eastern Europe. Let them hold free elections." "Oh yes, elections. Very democratic." Across Eastern Europe. Communist, 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 communist. If that's not free and fair, I don't know what is. Soviet puppet governments took control of Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and East Germany. Churchill declared an Iron Curtain had descended across Europe. Tensions flared everywhere. Britain intervened in Greece's civil war. Stalin demanded control of Turkey's sea routes. In Iran, he refused to leave. "I think I might stick around." UN pressure forced him out. In 1947, Truman declared, "These guys can't be trusted. We'll stop communism's spread worldwide." Many view this as the Cold War's official start. Europe was devastated. Cities in rubble, people starving. Stalin thought, "This is great. More suffering means more communism." "My father used to punish me severely." America launched the Marshall Plan, sending $12 billion to rebuild Western Europe. Eastern Bloc countries looked on enviously. "Hey, Czechoslovakia, want economic aid?" "Let me check with my mom first. Sorry, America, I can't come." This was economic warfare. Capitalism versus communism. Stalin created Comecon to compete. He established Cominform for political control. But nowhere did this battle rage harder than in divided Berlin.
Berlin and the bomb. Berlin sat over 100 miles behind Soviet lines, divided between the Allies. The western sectors remained under Western control, a democratic island in communist territory. East Berliners could freely visit West Berlin, see the prosperity, and think, maybe communism isn't so great. Late one night, a Soviet official named Ivan sneaks home. The lights suddenly turn on. Stalin sits in the corner. "You're home late, Ivan?" "Oh, Stalin. Just out with friends." "Friends? You reek of capitalism. West Berlin again. This is the third time this week." Stalin wanted the West out. In June 1948, he blockaded all supply routes to West Berlin. What are you going to do about it? I suppose we'll just fly the supplies in. The airlift became an incredible operation. For nearly a year, planes landed every few minutes with food, coal, and medicine. Stalin watched and realized his mistake. All right, Truman, you win this round. The West celebrated. Then, in August 1949, boom! The Soviet Union tested their own atomic bomb. America no longer had nuclear monopoly. The world realized a war between superpowers would mean total destruction. Stalin proclaimed war with the West was inevitable, not comforting. Hey, who haven't I checked on? My good friend China. Whoa, what happened to you? Civil war since 1927. Mao Zedong's communists defeated the nationalists who fled to Taiwan. October 1949, China was communist. The Soviets and Chinese signed a mutual defense treaty. Terrible news, but wait, there's more. Korea was divided at the 38th parallel. North, communist under Kim Il-sung. South, anti-communist under Syngman Rhee. Both looked like sweet old men. Don't be fooled, both were ruthless dictators dreaming of reunification. Stalin, now confident with the bomb, gave Kim permission. June 21, 1950, North Korea invaded, taking Seoul in 3 days. The UN assembled forces from 16 countries. General MacArthur led a daring landing at Incheon, recaptured Seoul, and pushed north toward China's border. MacArthur reassured Truman the Chinese will never intervene. Meanwhile, 500,000 Chinese troops crossed into Korea. The Chinese attacked, pushing UN forces back. MacArthur had a solution. Nuke 'em. No. Nuke 'em. No. Ah, come on. You're fired. Truman refused nuclear weapons. The Soviets had the bomb now. Risk global annihilation? No thanks. The war ended in stalemate right back at the 38th parallel. An armistice was signed in 1953. Americans elected Eisenhower in 1952, the famous World War II general who was honestly really hard to draw. It's 1953. Hey Stalin, how are you? Oh, he's dead. Stalin had a cerebral hemorrhage in March. His terror reign backfired. He'd imprisoned the best doctors, and survivors were too terrified to treat him. He lay on the floor for hours before anyone dared help. He died shortly after.
Khrushchev's chaos. The new Soviet leader was Nikita Khrushchev. In 1956, he called a secret meeting. You know how Stalin imprisoned and murdered us for nothing? Yeah, he was kind of a jerk. Gasp. I'm not sure how this is news to you. Khrushchev launched de-Stalinization. Stalin's statues came down. Stalingrad was renamed Volgograd. He announced Soviets should be happy with greater freedom. How'd that work? An East German uprising in 1953? Brutally suppressed. A Hungarian revolution in 1956? Brutally suppressed. Polish demonstrations? Brutally suppressed, though Poland did get mild reforms. Khrushchev permitted more cultural expression, then banned things based on personal taste. Modern art exhibit. This looks like a child urinated on canvas. Banned. Jazz music. Sounds like needing to fart. Banned. Poetry reading. Your poetry's depressing. How could anyone in the Soviet Union be depressed? Banned. Khrushchev wanted Soviets happy, but not like that, or that, or that. Young Soviets loved Western pop culture. A father confronts his son. Remove that disgusting imperialist apparel. Shut up, Dad. You can't tell me what to do. One KGB call later. Turns out he can tell me what to do. Both sides constantly spied on each other. The KGB had informants everywhere. CIA agents sent to the USSR, usually arrested on arrival. Manhattan Project scientists helped Soviets get the bomb. One American offered, "I'll sell you 3 secrets for $5 million. Okay, go ahead. The Allies are digging a tunnel under East Berlin. There's an American agent at this Moscow address, and sometimes when I'm home alone, I put on my wife's dresses and cry for hours.
Very interesting. In America, the Red Scare and McCarthy trials created hysteria. Communist became a buzzword for anything disliked. Hollywood, communist. Your neighbor's dog, communist. The cashier asking if you need a bag when you clearly can't carry 10 tubs of Baconaise, communist. America had an edge in spy tech. U-2 planes flying over Russia. Until 1960, when one was shot down. Khrushchev was furious. Who is this? A high-altitude weather enthusiast who flew off course. Why does he have a gun and poison needle? He's a very naughty weather enthusiast. But America worried about the space race. Russia launched Sputnik in 1957, then sent Yuri Gagarin to space in 1961. Americans panicked. There seemed to be a missile gap favoring Soviets. Khrushchev was so confident he allowed a U.S. technology exhibition in Moscow. Vice President Nixon attended. "Check this out, color TV." "Yes, but we've been to space and can obliterate you with nukes." "Check out this vegetable peeler." Both sides upgraded to hydrogen bombs, thousands of times more powerful. After West Germany joined NATO in 1955, Khrushchev created the Warsaw Pact, strengthening Soviet military ties. In 1960, Americans elected John F. Kennedy. The wall and the brink. The Soviet Union was advancing militarily, but bleeding money. Everything went to weapons, not people. Life under communism remained hard. Berlin remained a problem. The prosperity gap was obvious. East Berliners still traveled freely to West Berlin. Millions were defecting. Doctors, engineers, teachers fled. Eastern factories lost workers, devastating the economy. Khrushchev tried intimidation. Leave West Berlin, or else. Or else I'll be really mad at you. Kennedy stood firm. "Yeah, no, we're staying. West Berlin is ours, East Berlin is yours." Kennedy felt confident. But wait, did you catch that? Let's replay it. "East Berlin is yours." Uh-oh. Kennedy just said the USA wouldn't interfere with Soviet actions in their Berlin sector. Khrushchev lit up with a new idea. "We're gonna build a wall, a big, beautiful wall, and keep out all the Mexicans." An advisor whispered, "No, sir, keep in the East Berliners." "Oh, sorry, keep in all the Mexicans." August 13, 1961, Berliners woke to their city divided. Overnight, barbed wire and guards appeared along the entire east-west border. Families on opposite streets were separated. Over weeks, a concrete wall was built. The Berlin Wall became the Iron Curtain's most powerful symbol. Families torn apart. Thousands would risk their lives escaping, jumping from buildings, digging tunnels, hiding in trunks. Hundreds died trying. The West couldn't act, couldn't risk World War III. But Kennedy noted, "Democracy isn't perfect, but we've never had to wall our people in." The wall solved defection, but displayed communism's failure to the world. U.S. diplomats could still travel to East Berlin, but suddenly East German guards harassed them, demanding papers, making them wait. Kennedy responded, "Nuh-uh." October 1961, U.S. tanks rolled to Checkpoint Charlie as a show of strength. The Soviets rolled their tanks up too. Now Soviet and American tanks faced each other, guns pointed, meters apart. One wrong move could spark World War III. 16 tense hours. The world held its breath. Kennedy called Khrushchev. "This is too hot. Back up 20 meters and we'll do the same." "Sounds reasonable." "Another 20 meters? All right. Want to do another?" Meter by meter, they inched away from apocalypse. Eventually, all tanks withdrew. Crisis averted. Kennedy sighed in relief. "Phew. Let's hope that's the biggest crisis of my presidency." It wasn't.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next video.